Can you restart now, please?
Of course I can.
Yes.
رح بلش بقصتي إنه أنا لما كنت عم بعمل my engineering management degree I was exposed to a lot of tools. بعدين لما عملت ال LLP تبعيتي صرت أعمل correlation بين هول التولز إنه أنا ليش ما بستعمل هاي هون وهاي هون وهاي هون. طلعت معي فكرة إنه why we cannot import the tools تبعول project management تبعول organization اللي هن كثير استثمروا فيهم وكثير عملوا research عليهم وعندهم resource أكثر منا بكثير ونستفيد منهم لنا للسلف ديفلوبمنت تبعنا اللي هي اريا بعد مش هالقد يمكن مستثمرين فيها تولز هالقد. إذا أنتم بأي لحظة من حياتكم حسيتوا حالكم ستاك علقانين ما عم تقدروا تتقدموا toward your goals، اليوم أنا رح بعطيكم tools يساعدوكم لما تقعدوا مع حالكم تطلعوا من هيدي العلقة بطريقة كتير سلسة and to move forward toward your goal. لما نحكي عن project management شو يعني project management؟ البروجكت هو temporary endeavor مؤقتي بيكون عندي specific objective goal هدف بدي أحققه، عندي limited time frame و limited budget. ونحن هيك بالحياة نحن ما عندنا reach لكل الريسورسز اللي بالعالم. we have limited resources وعندنا goals بدنا نحققهم. يعني نحن فينا ننظر لحياتنا على إنها مشروع، وليش ما يكون مشروع ناجح؟ هذا المشروع اللي هو مشروع حياتنا هو process بده إدارة، بده مدير مشروع. إذا أنا ما استلمت إدارة مشروع حياتي أنا أوتوماتيكلي عم سلمه لغيري أو عم سلمه للصدف، وأي مشروع تسلم للصدف منه مشروع ناجح، ونحن بدنا مشروع حياة ناجح. example لبروجكت إنه نعمر بيت، إنه نعمل new software system، إنه to launch a new product. وبحياتنا كمان نحن عم نعمر كاركتر جديد، عم نعمر سكيل جديدة، مهارات جديدة. فما عم شوف فرق، ليش ما نستفيد؟ أول تول بالorganization management واللي هي تول أنا كثير بحبها، هيدي التول جاي لعنا من اليابان directly، هي كايزن. كايزن هي بعمق الثقافة اليابانية. كايزن معناتها continuous improvement أو change for the better، بالعربي التطور المستمر المستدام، التطور نحو الأفضل. نحن كبشر محكومين بالتطور، محكومين بالتغيير. إذا رح نخلق ونضلنا مثل ما نحن ما عملنا شيء بحياتنا. هيدا التغيير حيصير whether we like it or no، whether we want to break our comfort zone أو لا، التغيير آتم لا محالة. فإذا نحن كنا مستلمين إدارة هيدا التغيير رح يكون aligned مع الفيجن اللي تفضلت زميلتي باسكال وحكيت عنه، رح يكون aligned مع our values. أهم الشرك بالعالم أولاً شركة تويوتا، فورد، نسلي، مايو كلينيك بيستعملوا كايزن to optimize their roster. كيف أنا فيني استعمل كايزن بحياتي الشخصية؟ أنا بقدر استعمل كايزن بحياتي الشخصية through coaching و mentoring programs. فلما بدي استعمل كايزن بالسلف ديفلوبمنت أنا عم جيب big goals بحياتي و I'm breaking down into small micro goals بيخدموا الهدف الكبير. لأنه إذا أنا بوعى الصبح بقول أنا بدي غير حياتي I'm setting myself for failure، رح أفشل. بينما إذا I break it down to small areas وبقول إنه أنا رح بعمل small incremental improvement بس يكونوا aligned ويكونوا عم يخلقوا لي momentum ويدفعوني نحو هدفي الأكبر، بلاقي حالي شوي شوي عم بوصل، شوي شوي عم بكبر، شوي شوي عم بنجح. لأقدر to apply Kaizen for self development بدي بلش حدد الارياز اللي أنا بدي أعمل improvement فيهم، وبدي بلش حط small goals. هول الجولز الأهداف تبعيتي بدها تكون أهداف ذكية، ممنوع تكون أهداف غبية. بدها تكون specific، بدها تكون measurable، بدها تكون achievable، بدها تكون realistic، بدها تكون time bounded smart. ولازم تكون مثل ما قلت ديزاين بطريقة إنه تخلق مومنتم، مش واحد من الشرق وواحد من الغرب. لازم أهدافي بالحياة تكون تخدم الهدف الأكبر تبعي. Let's give an example. Let's say إنه أنا كسهى بدي أقوم أعمل public speaking، بدي أبني public speaking skills تبعولي، وبدي specifically كون عم بحكي مثل جماعة TED style TED talk، كون عم بعطي TED talk. إذا رح أقوم الصبح وأقول أنا بدي كثير public speaker، it doesn't work like that. I need to break it down. Small smart goals. وليش ما أنا ببلش بعمل ريسيرش وببلش بحضر تيد توكس وبشوف كيف الدايناميك تبعيتهم، كيف الفورمات، كيف الستايل، وببلش علم حالي وثقف حالي على التيد توكس بيصيروا. برجع I can sign up for public speaking courses. Swift Shift Academy بتقدم part of these courses. So بسجل بكورسات، ليش لا؟ بتابع مع كوتش، بتابع مع منتور، بشوف the best public speakers in the world كيف كانوا وبعلم حالي منهم. Obama was a great one, JF Kennedy was a great one. Then I practice myself to give short speeches, مش speeches، مش إنه بقوم بدي أعمل أكبر speech عندي، بلش بسمول one، بلش قدام رفقاتي، بلش قدام عائلتي، بقدر to join a club تأخذ more experience. I can volunteer. I start small but I grow bigger. I don't settle for small أبداً. مش فكرة كايزن إنه أنا I only do small things. لا أبداً. I do small things بس هول small things are incremental, are aligned وبيخدموا الهدف الأكبر. أنا لما عم باخد هول small steps عم حضر حالي للنجاح، عم حضر حالي لصير that style talk in front of large audience، ولا مرة بنسى شو هو هدفي الرئيسي. غير examples كمان from Kaizen ل self development، بيناتهم learning new language، مثل الولد منبلش كلمة كلمة، to develop a daily exercise habit. ما حدا بيروح على الويت area، الفري ويت area وبيبلش بالhighest weight، كلنا منبلش small and then we challenge ourselves and grow bigger. كمان improving time management skills. هلا زميلتي لما رح تحكي عنه كيف يصير ما فينا نصير expert بالtime management، بنبلش بعادات صغيرة وبنبني عليها. how to build a new skill, how to develop a growth mindset. المايندسيت ما بيخلق بين ليلة وضحاها. It's something we feed on a daily basis. We feed with positivity, we feed with practicing gratitude, we feed it with small and incremental. فهمنا كايزن، قلنا اوكي انا كل فتره بدي ركز على اريا وطورها. طب if I want to visualize هالاريا، اذا بدي افهمها مزبوط، هون انا I will introduce a new tool بحبها كثير، tool بيستعملوها اللايف coaches. The wheel of life. The wheel of life is a very popular self-assessment tool. It helped me لأعرف وين الارياز بحياتي اللي انا عامله فيهم satisfaction و fulfillment، وين الاريا اللي I lack satisfaction. The wheel of life typically هو a circle. I have it here. إن شاء الله يكون مبين عليكم منيح. So هيدا السيركل اللي عندي إياه فيه different area وبيخدم آخر شيء my own vision and purpose of life. Okay. So أنا كل فترة بدي أقعد مع حالي أعمل self assessment وأمرق على كل هولي الareas وشوف أي وحدة فيهم أنا ماني محققة فيها fulfillment وقول أنا بدي أشتغل عليها. So I take my wheel of life. I have the career and work, the finance, the health and fitness, the relationship, the personal development, the spirituality, the hobbies and leisure, والenvironment تاعي my home, my community. ومثل ما قلنا كلياتهم لازم يخدموا my vision of life. So I take my wheel of life and then I rate each area of my life from 1 to 10. Okay. وذن شوف بهيدي الفترة من حياتي شو البرايورتي عندي؟ هل البرايورتي عندي حسن شكل جسمي؟ هل البرايورتي عندي فوت بكارير؟ هل البرايورتي عندي حسن بالانتمسي والحميمية بيني وبين الشريك؟ شو الهدف تاعي؟ So it's مثل ما قلنا a visual tool بتساعدني حدد على وين بدي اشتغل. هون برجع بستحضر كايزن، بستحضر my smart goals، وبقول for example انه انا my social life هلا حاليا ما كثير على ذوقي، لا اشتغل عليها، بدي اعمل small incremental improvement. بحدد smart goals انه انا let's say خلال شهرين بدي يكون وسعت السوشيال نتورك تبعيتي، زدت هالقد يمكن عدد الاصحاب او عدد المعارف او اشتركت باكتيفيتيز جديد. So this is for us the wheel of life. So من بعد ما أنا شفت الويل أوف لايف تاعي وعرفت حالي لوين بدي روح، عرفت أنه أنا بدي حسن حياتي الشخصية، بدي حسن السبيريتشوال تاعي. طب أنا وين هلأ؟ كلنا بنستعمل جوجل ماب صح؟ لما نستعمل جوجل ماب أنا بحط أول شيء destination، بس هو بيسألني my current location، أنا وين. إذا بدي أعرف أنا وين بحيالله area من الارياز تبعول الويل اوف لايف تبعي، بدي هون اتمعن فيها وأعمل لحالي SWOT analysis. هولي ما عم بيساعدوني. SWOT analysis SWOT SWOT. SWOT analysis هي a popular tool بيستعملوها بالبزنس، يستعملوها ليقدروا يقيموا الorganization strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. وأنا كمان مثل ما بالماركتينج بيستعملوها، مثل ما بالبروجكت مانجمنت بيستعملوها وبالorganization بيستعملوها، بقدر استعملها لحدد شو السترينث تبعولي، شو الويكنسز، وين عندي potential opportunities، وين بقدر to achieve personal goals. So لما بلش بالSWOT analysis I firstly stand with my strength. شو هن السكيلز، شو هن النولج، شو هي الاكسبيرينس تبعيتي، شو البيرسوناليتي تريت تبعي، شو الاتشيفمنت. This is also what we call value proposition. شو اللي بيميزني عن غيري، ليش أنا أقوى من غيري بهالمجال. وهون أنا عم بخلق self awareness، والself awareness كثير مهمة بالself development، إنه أنا عم بعرف وين نقاط القوة تبعيتي. عكس الstrength and the weaknesses. الweaknesses هي lack of skill, lack of knowledge, lack of experience، أو أي طبع عندي أنا ورثته، أي limited belief جبتها معي وما عم بتخليني to achieve my goal. So هول الweaknesses تبعولي أنا بقدر أشتغل عليهم، هول منن شيء ما بيتغير، منن نقش بالحجر، بقدر أشتغل عليهم وأتخطاهم. كمان بقدر أحدد opportunities. هلا strength والweaknesses هول بيجوا من جوا مني إلي أنا، وأنا بقدر أشتغل عليهم. opportunities والثreats هن ظروف خارجية، بس الظروف الخارجية إذا عندي البروبر مايند سيت فيني أنا استعملها لصالحي، وفيني أقعد أتخبى منها وأقول it will never work، الظروف ما مساعدتني. فأنا إذا بدرس الظروف المحيطة فيني بعرف شو الopportunities ممكن يكونوا training program، ممكن يكون networking event، ممكن يكون رفيق عم يدعمني، ممكن تكون mentorship opportunity، ممكن يكون a workshop، ممكن يكون أي شيء عم يدعمني and pushing me forward لأقدر أشتغل على الهدف تاعي بطريقة أحسن. The threats on the other hand هن أشياء منها عم تساعدني، عم تشتغل ضدي، بس أشياء خارجية. أنا هون بقدر يا زيح عنها يا غير نظرتي لها لأقدر أتعامل أنا وياها. example عن الثreats اللي ممكن يواجهوني في يكون lack of time، lack of resources. يمكن مرة بعدها مخلفة جديد عندها بيبي، مش رح تقدر تشتغل على الكارير تبعها مثل حدا عنده وقت أكتر. هون بدنا نحترم الظروف الخارجية، بس بدنا كمان نشوف كيف بدنا نتحايل عليها. مرات في عندي competing priorities، بنفس الوقت جد علي شيء بصحتي لازم اشتغل عليه، بس كمان جد علي شيء بالكارير لازم اشتغل عليه. بدي اشوف هون شو اللي عنده highest priority، شوف شو اللي بدي اشتغل عليه قبل. مرات البيرسونال بارير بيكونوا ثريت، اذا عندي imposter syndrome اللي كمان
I think we lost Soha, so we're gonna give her some time to come back. Soha, are you back? We lost you for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. I'm still here.
Yeah, we lost you for a second, so if you can.
Okay. So when
okay, but still the connection is not good. Can you speak so we double check?
Is it better now?
Yes, yes. I know this is technology, and this is, you were talking about things coming, and this is the perfect way, but we continue. So let's continue.
So that's a threat. مرات كمان التكنولوجي مرات بتلعب ضدنا، الظروف الحياة بتلعب ضدنا، بس نحن بدنا نشوف كيف بدنا نتحايل عليها. مثل ما قلنا lack of time، lack of resources هو اللي ممكن يكونوا threat. competing priorities مثل ما قلنا، يمكن a woman بعدها مخلفة جديد عندها competing priorities، يمكن ما يكون عندها التايم لتقدر تشتغل على السلف ديفلوبمنت تبعها قد حدا يمكن عنده more free time، بس مش معناته انه ما بنشتغل ابدا، مثل ما قلت بنتحايل عليه. هول الثلاثة tools بيشتغلوا synchronized مع بعض. بيشتغلوا كلياتهم to feed the biggest goal اللي هو بده يكون aligned مع الفيجن تبعي مع الفاليوز تبعولي. ال important of project management tools بself development هي بتعطيني visual board، بتعطيني سلاسة، بتعطيني structure، وبتعطيني accountability لأنه عندي written document، عندي action plan وأنا بقدر تابع عليها وأعمل follow up خلال الاثنين. ما تصدقوا إنه أنا شخصياً عندي أجندة يمكن من وقت ما كنت صغيرة لهلا، لأنه هالأسلوب بتبعه مع حالي من زمان. بشوف فيها البروجرس تاعي، بشوف فيها علاماتي على كل اريا بحياتي وكيف انا عم حسن وعم طور فيهم وين عم بتراجع وين عم بتحسن. مش صعب ابدا نستعمل هالتولز ابدا، هو الشيء الوحيد الصعب انه يكون عندنا التزام، انه عن جد ما نخلي الحياه to bring us down تنزلنا لتحت. كل فتره ارجع اقعد مع حالي، استعمل هالتولز، شوف كيف فيهم يخدموني، كيف فيهم يخدموا هدفي الاكبر بالحياه واعدل فيهم. هيدي هلا it's one of the latest traits اللي بيحكوا عنها in general بالبزنس environment اللي هي الاجيليتي، الخفه، الرشاقه، انه انا دغري ارجع امسك حالي، امسك هالتولز تبعولي، لملم حالي وارجع ضلني مكفايه، ضلني in motion. so كايزن فينا نستعمله على السلف ديفلوبمنت تبعنا، فينا نستعمله ببيتنا، فينا نستعمله بعلاقاتنا، فينا نستعمله بحياتنا. وونس تعرفنا عليه بفتح لنا عيوننا على كثير اشياء، والسمول امبروفمنت الصغار اللي بنعملها كل يوم بحياتنا تفرق كثير معنا. we should celebrate هول المايكرو وينز، مايكرو جولز، ونذكر حالنا على طول انه نحن we're not settling for small here، نحن we're feeding our big goal. الويل اوف لايف كمان تول كثير حلوه، بتختلف من شخص للثاني. بحب زيد على الريتنج الويت كمان، احط ويت لكل اريا قد هي مهمه لإلي. البرايورتيز تبع كل ناس بتختلف من حدا للثاني. السوت اناليسيز اتس بريليانت ايديا، بتخلق لي سيلف اويرنس من جوا، وبتخلق لي اويرنس على الانفايرمنت اللي برا، كيف هالانفايرمنت في يساعدني، كيف هالانفايرمنت في يوقف ضدي، وكيف فيني اتحايل عليه. أنا بشجعكم كلياتكم to research all the tools, to follow us for more، تتعلموا كيف تستعملون بحياتكم، كيف تستعملون بعلاقاتكم. ولا أهون من هيك ولا أسلس من هيك. وبتشكركم كثير على وقتكم، على الاتنشن تبعيتكم. وبليز إذا عندكم أي سؤال شاركوه بالكومنت. I will be more than happy to answer it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Soha, for an amazing approach of Kaizen to personal development. It's amazing, really. Very, very insightful, because effectively, this is to prove that personal development is a wide thing, and we can incorporate anything we like in it. And it's all about knowledge تبعنا كيف نستعملها بحياتنا in different ways, and really leverage on everything that we have. All the learnings, all the experiences, everything, they are very, very, very important, because they're lessons at the end of the day. Kaizen is a very good approach because it focuses on the small steps. I don't need to overwhelm myself. Like you said, أنا بكرة بدي أصير TEDx speaker، كل يوم على بكرة أقوم أتلبى كيف بدي أصير TEDx speaker. And effectively, when we feel like that, we stay put because we feel overwhelmed and we do nothing. But when we start incrementally doing that, if we move 1% per day, so we're moving 360% per year, not to mention 365. So this is amazing as an approach, and I love it. I received some questions and I'm going to shoot them at you. What are some examples of project management tools that can be used for self-development other than Kaizen, let's say?
أنا كتير بحب البروجكت مانجمنت كانفا، وخاصة هيدي لما نكون عم نشتغل with a team. التيم في يكون عائلتنا، انتبهوا يعني أنا بالبيت إذا بدي أحسن بيتي، أحسن the chores، I would use project management canva. the project management canva بتحدد لي accountability، بتحدد لي مين مسؤول عن شو، إمتى لازم يتنفذوا. كتير بحبها. it's a beautiful tool. أي شغل فيه team work it's brilliant. it's very visual. فينا نحطها نطبعها ونتابعها ومضمونة تحقق نجاح يعني.
Definitely, it's very, very interesting. And you mentioned about writing down things, and this
Yes.
is journaling. And
Yes.
I'm very pro journaling. Can you elaborate a little bit on journaling?
أنا اللي بحبه غير الجورنالينج كمان الدروينج because I have an artistic side of me. So كمان هون بقول للعالم اللي ما بتحب تكتب ارسموا، ومش ترسموا يعني أنتوا بيكاسو أو فان جوغ، ارسموا كروكي صغير بس يعني لكم وأنتوا تفهموا على حالكم فيه. هيدا لإلكم. بالنسبة للجورنالينج هي أداة كتير حلوة نحن نقدر نراقب تطورنا مع الزمن. فأنا لما عم بمسك هالورقة والقلم ولما عم برجع بحتفظ فيهم لبعدين عم بقدر كتير سهل علي أعمل فولو أب، أعرف حالي وين كنت وين صرت ولوين رايحة، وأرجع أمسكها وأعرف حالي وين كنت وين صرت لوين رايحة. يعني مثل ما السفينة ما فيها تمشي بدون ما تقدري أنت توجهيها، كمان نحن ما فينا نمشي بالحياة بدون ما نكون عارفين الدايركشنز تبعولنا. The journaling is a great tool. It's a positive tool. إذا بالjournaling أنا عم بحط positive ideas، عم بحط gratitude list، عم بحط الناس اللي أنا ممنونة لوجودهم بحياتي اللي عم يدعموني، اللي هن يمكن they are my support system مثل ما قلتي، هن لإلي opportunities. So it's a beautiful tool, the journaling.
Definitely. And I would like to say, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment. And journaling is something really, really, really interesting. And you mentioned Shisai, but Sonia, I want to say something. There's nothing really side because there's everything, nothing has a meaning except the meaning we give to it. So أنا إذا بدنا نقول هيدا الشيء صعب وهيدا الشيء صعب, then it will become صعب. But if I start changing my language, and this is how we change our words, not word, and I mean WORLD, not the words only, because when we change our words, we change our word. So it's very important إنه really have this flexibility إنه إيه معقولة تكون الأشياء صعبة. I'm not telling people live on La La Land. ما في شيء اسمه لالا at the end of the day. في لالا أنا بخلقها ولالا ما بخلقها. بس الidea is في شيء يا either I find ways to empower myself and decide. ومبارح حكينا كتير مهم على قصة يا decide to stay a victim or I take action. And by using those tools, like the tool that Soha shared, definitely, it's very important. So this is something that we learn. And we have a question that said, positive mental attitude and mindset. It's all about, let me say something. ما في شيء اسمه mindset. لأن إذا أنا فكرت إنه mindset, it's set. يعني ما فيني غيره. بس إذا بفكر it's my mind, then I can set it to whatever I want it to be. So the mind is not a scary thing. لأنه العالم تخاف mindset. It's all about mindset. It's nothing about the mindset and everything about the mind and what we do with it. So هيدي الشغلة كتير important. We have a question, Soha. If we face some risk, how to adapt without frustration?
هلا الفرستريشن هي جزء من حياتنا. اوكي اول شيء we embrace it. We don't beat ourselves down because we felt frustrated. اذا نحن بدنا نقبل حالنا كهيومن بدنا نقبل كل مشاعرنا as a package. هيدي كتب هلا عم بيعلموها للاولاد الصغار how to put my feelings in jar. بيقولوا لهم انه الغضب مشاعر موجوده بدنا نتقبلها. فاول شيء I don't beat myself for being frustrated. I'm frustrated كثير منيح. I acknowledge it, I embrace it. بفهم ليش أنا frustrated. برجع للسوت analysis تبعيتي، شوف وين السترينث تبعولي وين الويكنسز تبعولي، ومرات الويكنسز هن اللي بيكونوا عم يعملوا لي frustration. شوف شو الاوبورتونيتي عندي to overcome هول الويكنسز لأقدر ساعد حالي، وبشوف شو اللي عم بيهددني من جوا لحس حالي insecure. الفرستريشن تيجي من insecurity. لما قعدت مع حالي وعملت السوات اناليسيس تبعيتي وفهمت حالي الفرستريشن اوتوماتيكلي اذا ما بتروح اكيد بتخف. اكيد.
Definitely. And you mentioned something really important, Soha, which is you use the word embrace.
Yes.
لأنه نحن وقت بنضل نستعمل كلمات like face or take control and all of this, it's like you feel you're non-stop in a war.
لا.
So you're facing الهيدا, you're doing this, so we're not in a war. We need to embrace, and this what makes us successful is things exist. And I mentioned yesterday, it is what it is, and it's up to you to make the best of what is. It's up to you as a person. This is very important, the words. And thank you for mentioning embrace instead of facing frustration.
لا embrace كتير مهمة لسبب لأنه lately because of all the coaches, the self-development books, انخلق فكرة منا كتير صحيحة إنه نحن we always have to be positive. إنه الدنيا عم تخرب وأنا عم بضحك.
This is toxic positivity.
This is not realistic حتى. وهون أنا ما بقى عم واجه، أنا عم بهرب وعم بتخبى ورا قناع إنه الدنيا بعدها بألف خير. الدنيا منا بألف خير، في كم مشكلة عم بتصير. I acknowledge them, I embrace them. It's part of being human. الحمد لله بعدني عايشة لشوفهم. And then I deal with them.
Definitely, there is some toxic positivity, Soha, that is because people, what happens now in the world, in order not to generalize in كل self-development.
No, عم بقول انخلق فكرة غلط، مش انخلق هي يعني ركبت.
Definitely. Let me clarify one thing is that, yes, some people have different ways of expressing themselves. وهيدا اللي خلق شيء اسمه toxic positivity. مثل ما قلت لا مثل ما انت قلتي الدنيا بألف خير وانا عايشه بالبابل تبعيتي. There are no bubbles. I can decide to focus on what I can control. I cannot control a pandemic, definitely. No. And I'm not there to control a pandemic, but what I can control 100% is what to do with this pandemic in relation to me, how to react to this pandemic, and it's fully in control of me. I control how I react. فيني أكون عم panic دي في pandemic وما أعمل شيء. And فيني أقول في pandemic, yes, it's sad, and I feel it, and I sympathize and empathize, but at the same time focus on what should I do? What do I want to do next from here? And you mentioned a very important point, مثل الجي بي اس. وقت نروح على جوجل مابس دايما في starting point. And the starting point, ladies and gentlemen on the call, is you today. It's always today. Your starting point is not your past. Your past is all the lessons that you learned. Starting point تبعكم هو اليوم. So use it. لأنه you have the GPS that is you today. You've been empowered by tools that Soha gave yesterday as well. We gave, that Pascale gave, and effectively, if you think about it, the live vision creation that Pascale mentioned, and now the tool that Soha mentioned as well, on really this little dot that Soha mentioned is nothing but your live vision. And it's not about having this big thing. Although, yes, you need to have this big thing, you need to have dreams, and you need to have big dreams. Otherwise, you will settle for less. But things start from where you are today, incrementally go where you want to be, and definitely you will get there when you're clear. Because if we don't know where we're heading nowhere and super fast. So, one last thing that you would like to share with our audience as advice?
رح أرجع عيد كلمة على طول بقولها، إنه نحن محكومين بالتطور والتغيير. إذا ما أنتم مسكتوا زمام الأمور وكنتوا عاملين إدارة لهيدا التغيير والتطور، هي الحياة رح تاخدكم على تطورات أو على تغييرات يمكن أنتم ما تكونوا مبسوطين فيها. كونوا واعيين، كونوا عارفين حالكم أنتوا وين ولوين بدكم تروحوا، وهالتطورات والتغييرات بتكون لمصلحتكم وبتخدمكم بدل ما أنتوا تكونوا عم تخدموها. وهاي نصيحتي لكم. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you, Soha, for this amazing advice. Definitely, it's change, transformations, moving to your next level, whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you want. It's just go to your next best self. لأنه it's life is the series of journeys, of voyages. It's a one journey, but it's series of voyages. And I want to stress on one point before we close this session. Celebrate, really celebrate, people. Celebrate your achievements. Say, go to the mirror and say, I'm so happy I've done it. And regardless who's listening to you, I'm so happy that you listened to us and I'm celebrating you. And now we'll go for 4 minutes break, and then we'll join Lama with your schedule reimagined. So let's take 5 minutes break, 4 minutes break, and we will come back. So you're not ready? We tell her to delay. I'm pretty sure, Lama, they're ready. And I want you to unmute yourself, please. And more than ready for Lama, I know. So now I'm happy to welcome Lama, our last speaker for this today's summit. And I'm pretty sure she's gonna put insightful information around schedule and reimagining schedule and all of this. So Lama, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Pauline, and welcome everyone to our session today. My session is the last session, so I hope it's going to be
last session of this.
Yes, it's the last session today. I'm really happy about all the sessions were really insightful, and I really hope that you took notes and that you had some amazing insights. So what we're really going to do is just in this session, we're going to try to put all the learning that you got into practice. Pascale today, Soha gave us amazing tools, real things to do. But what I want to talk about is actually reimagining our schedule and trying to create a new schedule. What's the importance of schedule? We all know that time is our most important asset. We all know that, but it's something that we cannot control. It's not to be tamed. And the time is just a tool for us, okay, to organize ourselves around. And it's also a reference for us, a common reference for us and all the other people around us. So I know sometimes planning is not exactly comfortable, but an unplanned day, so it's really more of, it's like a vacation day. But in reality, we all have responsibilities, responsibilities at work, responsibilities with our people that we love, responsibilities for ourselves, and they really need to be applied. So what I want to do here today, we're gonna take a coaching approach towards, we want to build our schedule. We want to embrace where we are. As I said, Pauline, embracing is a great thing to start with. We don't want to be judgmental. We just want to take ourselves, where are we today? And what are we learning? We want to observe what we are and where we are. And we want to take this information and take it to actually apply it and create a new schedule for us, okay? So the first thing we're going to start with, and I really hope you have your notebooks. What I want is for you to take insights, even a small insight today, or a small thing that you decide to start with would be a great thing. Because learning is, if information is just potential, it's not, unless you take action, nothing changes, okay? So I really want you to get inspired today, maybe take a pen and a paper and just start some notes and maybe inspired to get some action, okay? So let us start, as we said, when we want to start as a coach work with anyone, we start by creating awareness. And this is very important. When we create awareness, we cannot, it's actually a tool for us to start with our journey of change. So our awareness today is going to be around observing our schedule. I would like you, if you already start with your schedule or not, take any tool that you like, whether it's a pen or paper, whether it's Excel or your Google Calendar, anything. Just let's start to observe our schedule for 1 week. I don't want it to be for a month, it's too long, not for 1 day, it's too short. Let's observe it for 1 week, for one typical week. How are we spending our days? And that schedule, I would really like you to be really a filled schedule from the morning till the moment we wake up. It means, for example, let's take it from 6 a.m. in the morning until it's 5:45 a.m. Even the sleeping, I would like you to note it. The small activities, I would like you to know. The first thing is we want to collect the data. We want to collect the data because unless we have the data, we cannot take out any information and see what's happening. Okay, so we're going to turn this data into information so we can actually observe and reflect upon that. Reflection is a key in our work with, if you want to go through coaching or if you want to work on yourself. Unless you decide to take the time for yourself to reflect, nothing's going to change. You need to create the awareness for yourself. So if you want, I would like you to fill all the activities that you do during this week. The sleeping, the time, the commuting time, the work time, even the time on TV, the time on the phone, everything. The more detailed you can be in observing this typical week, the more information you're going to be able to get. Now, if you take the time and take the schedule and take this challenge, the next step at the end of this week, what I would like you to do, I'm going to simplify the way we look at our schedule. I know we can look at our life from up, we can categorize our life from up to 7, 12 even categories. Today, I will just want you to simplify it and look at it from 3 different perspectives. And that is based on the work of Nir Eyal. He was an expert in people's behavior and he wrote the book. It's an amazing book. I recommend you to read. It's Indistractable. And he categorizes the life based on 3 only categories: the you, the relationships in your life, and your work. Okay? And when we look at the schedule, let's put it in our face and see. Where is me in the schedule? What are the activities that I do during this week that are related to me? My sleep is related to me. My time on the TV is related to me. My taking care of myself, my self-care, my sport, my prayer, my meditation, anything that has a direct effect on me, we will categorize it. We can highlight it under the me category or the you category, the self category, okay? And that is very important for you to visualize what's happening during this typical week. The second step, you're going to take and look at all the relationships. What are the activities that I do that are directly related to my relationships in my life? How am I spending my time with my family, with my partner, with my friends, with my close friends? What are the responsibilities that I'm taking? Even the time at home, if you are a mom or a daughter or a family member, what are the responsibilities that you are doing that are related to your relationships? And those also fall under the relationship category, okay? And even let's also take, for an easier purpose, you can also categorize everything that is a commuting time, the time, for example, for me taking my kids to the activities, it would be under my relationships category, okay? Because I'm doing it as a responsibility as a mom. And the last thing is looking at everything that is related to work, okay? Anything that I do that has a related, of course, my time at work, anything that is related to, for example, me working on my finances or working on my growth. If I'm not actually an employed person, anything that I do for that purpose falls under the work category, okay? Now, as Pascale was saying, as Soha was saying, we want values aligned. We want to be aligned with our values to create real fulfillment. So sometimes you say, what are my values? It's not clear to me. Here, when you observe your schedule, I would like you, and you actually note in front of your face, just those 3 categories. How much time am I spending in each of those categories, okay? We're gonna take each category on its own and look only, I want you to look at the really important things that you do, the activities or the tasks that you do that for you has a high importance and that were actually, it might be urgent and high value or just high value activity. For example, if I take the time 3 times a week to go and walk or to exercise, and that is something that is really valuable to me, and I know it's gonna serve my health, then I would actually circle that as it's something of high value, okay? If I know that my time I spend with my kids and the time I take out to study with them, or it's of high value because I want to create and be a mother or somebody who really reinforces and empowers her children, then that is a high importance and activity, okay? And we're gonna do that in every category. Even in work, you're gonna look at all the activities that you do that really makes a difference in your work, that really shifts the things for you. What we say is move the needle, that you know, unless you do this, it's really good for maintaining your work or for moving forward. These are high value and high importance activities, okay? And from these, we're gonna look and see, you're gonna draw your values. You're gonna see, for me, for example, on the personal level, my spiritual well-being or my growth or my mental well-being. This is highly important to me. And you're gonna note it, okay? And on the relationships, we're gonna do the same. How am I living my life? Is connection, because it's really important for me to see my friends, for example, is connection, is intimacy, is loyalty, is giving support. Is it really important to me? So I'm going to note it. I act upon that. So you start seeing yourself. And on the work side, what is it that I really value on my work? Is it bringing quality in my work? Is it individuality? Is it I want to build trust with my customers or the people I serve? Is it I want to be creative? I want to be a leader. I want to create, innovate. What is it that I want? And you see, okay? Now, once we note those high values that we see in our schedule as it is, we're going to see, okay, what I want you to do here, it's not about auditing. It's not about holding a stick upon yourself and judging yourself. It's just seeing things as they are and see yourself. Now, what do I want to bring more? Okay. Now, if there's a value that I feel is important to me, but I'm not really giving time for it, what is it that I want more in my life? What is it that I want, that I love, or that is important to me, but I'm not finding in my schedule, okay? So from that, we're gonna be able to create our new schedule, okay? It's the template. Let's take it for a typical week or for the next week. We're gonna create a template for the next schedule, okay? We're gonna treat ourselves and we're going to use the time boxing technique. The time boxing is simple, very simple. It's just I want you to really fill out all the categories and all the times in your schedule, whether it's a 50 minutes time, by intervals of 50 minutes or a 30 minutes interval, just try to fill out the time. And even if there's something you're not really sure of, you can just put buffer time. You can put like a big section. This is where I'm working. For example, for me as a mom, I have responsibilities at home and they take time. And I know I don't want to be very specific, but I can jot them down. Okay, and let's schedule the next week. Now, this is the key. When we want to start scheduling the new, when we want to put our schedule for the next week, how are we going to tackle it? Normally, what I used to do is, okay, what do I have meeting? What do I have responsibilities? Who needs me when? And let's put that on my schedule and that's it. I just put my meetings, my responsibilities, what do I have to do? If there is something important, I will put it. It's like putting a part of my to-do list in my schedule and that's it. But what we want to do is create a different kind of schedule. We want to start with ourselves. Why start with ourselves? Because we are the essence. Unless we know we are doing well, we are feeling good in ourselves, our relationship will suffer, our work will suffer, okay? So we want to see first, because we normally put this last. No, we want to start with ourselves. What values, what activities, pick 2 to 3. I don't want you to overwhelm myself. I'm all against overwhelm. Just put 2 to 3 things that you really want to do for yourself. And as Soha said, they have to be very specific. You have to exactly say that I want to do, for example, if I want to be healthy, great, let's be specific. What do I want to do to be healthy? I want to, for example, exercise 3 times a week or 4 times a week, just 20 minutes. What time do you want to actually do that? I'm going to take for 7 a.m. in the morning, for example, me as a mom, I send my kids to school, 7 a.m. up until, or 7:30 a.m., I go walking 3 times a day. I want, for example, to have a regular sleep. I know a lot of people who have a problem with their sleep. You need, as women, for example, we need our sleep. We need sleep more than men. So we need to make sure that we are, because it's crucial for our health. Let's book the time I need to sleep for that time from, for example, 10 p.m. or like 11 p.m. up until, I don't know, 6 p.m. You need to schedule that, okay? And when you do that first, it's like committing to yourself. I want you to treat yourself as you would treat the most important person in your life. When you decide on a meeting or on something you do for someone very important, you will make sure you will show up. I want you to show up for yourself. I want you to build that inner self-integrity of showing up for yourself. And this is why we're going to start with scheduling our self-activities. I know each one of you has their own circumstances. Each one of you has their own life, and not everyone's is going to be the same, but whatever starts to fill you, that would be great. Let's start with that. Once we attend to ourselves, let's attend to our relationships, not to our work, to our relationships. And why? Because the quality of our life is highly dependent on the quality of our relationships, okay? And based on the, I don't know if you've heard of it, but based on the study done by Harvard, it's the longest term study. It's a 75-year-old, it has been tracking people for 75 years. The number one factor that will affect you on the long term for your longevity, for your health, for your total and general well-being is the quality of the close relationships in your life. And normally we know I love my friends and I love my kids and my family, but I'm so busy. No, we don't want the people that we love should not be the residual beneficiaries of our time. So I see what time I have left and I will try to schedule a good time with my close friends. We need to actually prioritize our relationships, because if you follow the studies, these are key for you to have a good health and a good life. So let us start the quality time with the people we love. We need people we need to bring intentionality. We need to be intentional in setting the time. For example, my kid, and she said to me, Mom, you don't play with us. And when I need to do, and I say, yes, I'm always busy doing things, but she needs that time and I need this connection with her. And let me schedule the time, for example, every day before she sleeps, half an hour, we sit and have a quality time. If I have a partner, let's schedule a weekly date together. If you have close friends, and especially for us, the ladies, we need our close friends. Let's make sure we have this time and this connection, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a small coffee, let's schedule that. And let's share this. Let's agree on this, okay? Now, once we are actually happy with whatever we have on our relationship side and our schedule, and we attend to our work. And the same with our work. Let's see what moves the needle in our work. What are the things that if I know I would do and I allocate time for, I know it would move and change my work for me. And we need to allocate the time. And actually, we need to commit for the time that we put out for ourselves. Okay, how am I going to bring more value? I want to bring more quality in my work, more creativity. I want to be a leader. I want to innovate. What 2 to 3 activities that I will do that will move the needle for me? Okay, and we start with that. It's a template. Let's start it as a scientist. The scientist, we will hypothesize. It's a possibility. We see, we experiment, we see where does it get us. And at the end of the week, let's also schedule like a 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you need, a time to reflect back on our schedule and see what happened during that week. Did it fit me? Did it serve me? Did I move things? Did I live my values? Where did I get distracted? What do I need to do to actually show up for my schedule? Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a very simple thing. What is the difference between us on a very busy day and us on a regular day? On a busy day, we seem to achieve so much and we end up the day, oh my God, I can't believe how much I did today. So what happened? Did the time change? No, it did not. Did we change? We also did not change. So what happened? You already have the skills to make things happen. And let me tell you what happened on this busy day. On this busy day, you had a real clarity on the things that you needed to do. You had real clarity on the time that you needed to do these things. And Also, you knew very well that you had no luxury of jumping between tasks or that you would like to remove a task. Things really you needed to do, and you were really focused on doing that. You made sure that there are no distractions, not internal, not external, okay? So you made sure everybody knew what needs to be done. And you communicated your schedule. I'm busy. Do not disturb me. Do not distract me. Okay, you had real clarity on that. And more of that, we had a sense of urgency that was really high. Okay, the urgency and the value. We knew that what we were doing was a high value. What I want you to do, I don't want you to end your day with an overwhelm or with feeling exhausted. No, but treat yourself or treat whatever you set yourself to do exactly like on a busy day. Schedule. Put exactly what task you will do, what time you will start, and how much time it will take, and commit to that. Just try to commit to that for this 1 week, okay? Try to see the distraction and see how you can actually manage those distractions. And not only that, set yourself up for success. For example, if I know tomorrow morning I need to be moving out of the house by 7 a.m., and I know that before that I need to be finishing, for example, my task at home, I will think I'm going to get really resourceful. I'm going to see what is it that I want to do before to set myself up for success. What do I need to prepare for so that I'm not late, for example, for my appointment. If I know, for example, I have a very important appointment and I need to be there by 8 a.m., I'm going to just check Google Maps. I'm going to get out a bit earlier of my house. I'm going to commit to myself. I'm going to commit to my meetings. And let's try to commit to our meetings and to our meetings with ourselves, just like we do with everything else. We want to be punctual, and we want to have an outward look that we are so responsible. Let's do that with ourselves too. Let's commit with ourselves too. Let's be clear on what we need to do, okay? And so the skills are already there. This is what I want to do. And the last thing I want to tell you, I want to talk to you about what's the importance and why do I want to create a schedule and not to-do list. A to-do list will only create for you, and it's based on science. It creates anxiety, and it creates sometimes overwhelm that you have so many things to do and you just need to take things off. And why not? What's the difference between actually scheduling what you need to do? The difference is very, very, very important, because the measure of success of a to-do list is you achieving things. The measure of success when you do a schedule like that is, did I show up for myself at the time that I said I will show up to do the things that I decided to do? So your measure of success is you showing up, is depending on your input in your schedule, on your effort in your schedule. And that is a much better measure of success, okay? So we all know that the outputs are something that we just hope for. The results are, it's a potential, it's a hope, it's not a certainty. What we can really control is ourselves and how we show up, okay? And this schedule will allow you a visual representation of you living your life. And you can actually see what's happening. And scientifically, it was proven, when you just write down the things that you want to do, you have more than 40% chance of actually doing them, okay? So, and another very important thing is that you relieve yourself of something called the decision fatigue. When you remove those planning from your head and into your face, sometimes you are just tired. What do I do next? When you have things, even if you change something, you just know what needs to be done in your day, and that relieves you. And the more we plan, the more we set up ourselves for success. And even if you would like a day off, a vacation day, just plan a vacation day. If you want to have a time for you to just unwind on the TV, just plan it and set that for yourself. And the more you plan, the more you understand yourself, the more you have more skills at assessing what things need, what are important, what is something that is not important, not urgent, let me drop it off. What is actually urgent but not important, let me try to delegate it. And let me focus on what is important to me, and let me focus on what is of high importance and urgency and importance. Okay, let's take this as an opportunity just to have fun without judgment, just something to grow. Okay, let's test. And it's a dynamic schedule. It's just a week schedule. It's a dynamic thing. You can always change. We're not bounded by it. We are taking back the control. And I really, really hope that you really took notes and that you're going to try to start and apply those tools and all the tools that have been shared during this summit. Thank you all, and I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you, Lama, for this insightful information. Really, scheduling and our schedule are an important thing. Ladies, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box. And I have a question. Lama, many times urgent things come up, during the day, and our schedules get messed up.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yes, normally when we have something that is really urgent and really important, we cannot just be stiff and like, I cannot change because I scheduled. You're going to try to see how you can fit in those urgent things and just be, how do I say it? It's just be with yourself. If something comes up, this is life, but you do your best when you do scheduling. It's not about setting yourself up for failure or just being rigid. It's about being flexible. If something comes up, let's put it in our day and then reflect back later on at how we can just move the things that we actually removed and put them back into our schedule. This is a flexible, it's not a rigid way. It's just a flexible way of setting yourself up.
Definitely. And you mentioned scheduling and creating the schedule. Okay, we scheduled on a piece of paper. Do I take it on my phone?
You can, of course. Whatever, this technique is whatever tool makes you comfortable. Some people I know that just love the pen and paper. Some people, they're really technical people. They love the schedule for their Google or their Samsung calendar or whatever on their Excel, just whatever works for you. It's a tool for you. It's not something that controls you. You control it. Makes it work for you. Okay.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Lama, for the insight, really, because I know there are so many approaches of time and how do I schedule and all of this. And it's important to note as an addition that energy as well is very important. And when you mention intentionality in your scheduling, this is where energy comes into place, because it's very important. It's not about managing time at the end of the day. No. It's about managing our energy. Where do we put our focus? Where do we put our energy? Where do we take it from there? Because at the end of the day, we all have the same number of hours, but we have fluctuating energy during the day. So
it's true.
We need to learn about our energies.
Yes,
as well.
Yes, brilliant. And we need to act. It would be really nice also if we could actually, when we observe our schedule first, to also observe our energy during that schedule and see where are our high energy points and where are our low energy points. It's the more we reflect, the better we can understand ourselves.
The last question we'll take, sometimes when we're off, our schedule will lose track and get demotivated. How do we find our way back?
From demotivation?
Yes.
Demotivation, it's like overwhelm, it's like procrastination. It's just a feeling of anxiety that we're having. And then when we have things already planned for us, even if we're demotivating, sometimes we have those days. We have those days where we don't want to do anything. But when we try and say, no, let me try to stick with myself. Treat yourself as you treat somebody really important. Even if you're demotivated and you have a meeting with someone important, you're going to get yourself up, dust yourself up, and you're going to show up. And that is what I want you to do. Start doing with yourself. Try to show up for yourself, even if you're not. Sometimes we just put ourselves in a higher state and just move ourselves up and let us show up for ourselves like we show up for other people. Okay?
Definitely. It's very important. One last advice, Lama, that you'd like to give our audience?
One last advice that I would like, just embrace yourselves. I personally, really, one of the things that really, before it actually didn't help me in moving forward is that because I was highly judgmental on myself, and that I was really being the most judgmental person for myself. And when you embrace yourself and you actually accept yourself, this is not about you at the end of the day really feeling on a high note and I want to really feel very positive. We know we have difficult days. What I want to do through the schedule is to bring like this contentment at the end of the day, this peace, this serenity that I did what I have to do. Even if it was a tough day, I showed up. I did my part of the work. Yani, it's not always about like we want to be so positive and we want to, and being grateful that we actually were able to move forward and to grow and to have this peace. For me, it's like really, thank you. I feel at peace that I did what I did at the end of the day, and let's hope the second day will be a better.
Definitely. Thank you for the advice. And as we come really to the end of the first of In and Out of We Women Empowered Summit, I want to take a moment to reflect with you all on the past 2 days. It has, for me personally, it has been an incredible journey filled with powerful conversations, inspiring speakers, all of you, and meaningful connections. We have learned a lot from each other, shared our experiences, and gained insight into the challenges and opportunities that all of us face today. We explored some themes and we tried as much as possible, all of us together, to provide knowledge, education, awareness, stepping out, techniques, strategies for you all to really make a difference and make it the world a better place. I want personally to thank each and every one of you for being part of this incredible experience. Haya, Ghinwa, Anwar, Etab, Jennifer, Pascale, Soha, and Lama, for really being amazing and giving your time and effort. Your presence has made this summit a success, and your commitment to supporting and uplifting each other is really a testament of the strength and grit of women when they decide and they join forces. As we all leave today and return to our daily lives, and it's going to be a beautiful Sunday after all this, really, I encourage every one of you to support each other, to lift each other up and be the change we want to see in the world. Together, really, we want to continue to break down barriers, challenge the status quo. I know I say something that people might not like, and it's okay, perfectly fine with me, because I want to change. I want to impact, and together we can do it much stronger. We need to be more inclusive and equitable. Word for everyone, regardless of gender. The Swift Shift Success Academy is very happy with this event, really. And I'm happy to announce personally that this is not the end. This is the beginning for something really big, really, that we want to continue with the amazing speakers that we had and with more amazing speakers that we had. And if you want to have the recordings of any of the sessions that you missed, you can go to email info@swiftshiftcoach.com and we will organize it. Thank you once again for being part of this journey. And before we stop, I want to ask Pascale for one word, and I mean it, one word, about your workshop that you want people to remember. One word.
Just step out.
Step out. Ghinwa.
Eye opener.
Soha. You're muted.
Brain provoking.
Excellent. Lama.
Just experiment and have fun.
Exactly. I know we don't have all the speakers with us today. It's Sunday, and I want to thank you really for staying. And I've received words like you, awareness, happiness, joy, and all of this from the speakers. Really, it's all about you. Thank you once again for being a part of this journey. I look forward to seeing the amazing things that we will accomplish together into the future. So I want you to stay tuned with us and really stay with us and follow us, and you will be receiving an email with everybody's social media handles so you can follow it. And now all we have to do is celebrate, because we are a family, and really thank you for this. So celebrate every day.